Do you think it's easy for me to share all these things for any of us? If you see my previous video, you remember that to be up here means to show up as ourselves through and through, among the haters, the chaos, with all our heart and passion. I reflect on this not only because it is my livelihood, it is also because I went to 2 concerts last month where I saw these 2 huge artists take the stage and conquer all their fears while living their dream. Like, that's pretty badass. So, both of them had the same feeling, even if neither talked about the same thing. For example, Camilo talked about dream bigger, all those dream bigger moments, and manifesting being able to be on tour around the world with sold out shows just after a few years starting. So to continue dream bigger. Ricky Martin, celebrated 40 years on stage. 40! He played so many of his early classics and had goosebumps and tears as he heard the crowd sing lyric after lyric, song after song, even if those songs were 30 years old. Since I do have special videos about each of their concerts, I will only say what inspired me both right now. Because please go check out those videos. I put so much of my love in them. And they're such a pleasure to see. Plus, you get to see a lot about the concerts as well. Anyways, so what I will say, like I was saying, was that what inspired me both is how they share their most vulnerable moments of exposing their most personal thoughts with the world. And they still get up and do it because it's in their heart's desire. Whether that's on stage or on YouTube like Emilio Nevaluna or any other platform in between. I can say the same about Chaperone, Olivia Rodrigo, and Karol G, Shakira, and so many more other beautiful artists out there who just put their heart on the line and say, F it, this is me, take it or leave it, I'm doing what I love. So, the fact that I get up here and share these things while being myself, knowing that the people who have hurt me, abused me, and torn me down, torn me down, is that the word? Tear me down, torn me down, are also out there is more power to me. And if stating this makes it feel like I'm giving my power away, you got the wrong picture. Because I look up to those who are showing up as themselves, talking about anything from mental health to motherhood to racial injustices and more. The more I look for them, the more I find them, the more I listen, I get inspired and I get stronger. And this is what I have to do. This is what I want to do. This is how I contribute for all of us to have a domestic violence-free life, speaking about all sorts of topics and taking action to advocate for our community that we deserve healthy relationships, to break down body stigmas, to remind each other that our voices matter, and that blood family isn't always right or means well, and so on and so forth. That's all I'm doing, and I'll do just that, whether it's through here on my YouTube, on any other podcast that I'm sharing, or platform. So, I keep saying so a lot in this video. Goodness gracious me. Even though I make it look easy, like Meghan Trainor said, from time to time, because I do share my tears and fears, I also got a comment recently from one of my dear closest friends and loved ones, and it was 2 comments between a good friend of mine, and a family member. And both said the same thing on different dates, different times, but definitely the same week. And it was, I love how confident you are. Like, your confidence inspires me. And I'm like, how am I being confident? Like, I'm just showing up as myself on, like, my YouTube or, like, whatever it is that I do, right? And they're like, that's exactly it. Like, look at you. Like, you're wearing what you want to wear, or you show up as the way you want to show up. You're sharing what you share. That's a lot of confidence right there. And I'm just like, whoa, I never really thought about it that way. That, by simply showing up as me, I don't give myself credit sometimes, and then I'm like, oh wait, okay, I'm showing up as myself. That's helping others see that too. So once again, even though I make it look easy, like Meghan Trainor says in that song, because I do share my tears and fears, and of course, I can do it with a broken heart, like Taylor Swift said, It is courageous to be here at this very moment in time with you, sharing this, publishing this, hitting the cut, edit, and post button, even though I'm not really editing this one out, because hey, we gotta be cool and natural. One thing is for sure, I'm being me along the way, and if that's the best thing I get out of this, then it's worth it. And another thing, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. I've learned that in the harshest way a while back, while still making sure that I continue to learn from it every chance I get. In other words, if I keep going and only talk about the deep issues every single time, whether that's on my feed or in real life, how do I embrace life? When do I play with life? How do I achieve that life balance that I always fight for, speak up for? How is that setting an example of everything that I can say? So, of course, my feed, my week, my life, online and off, every roller coaster I hop on and off, will look different because I do a mix of both. And that right there is a stayed-off reminder of itself too, including creating content that's not just for fun, not only because I do fun things, but also that I create art and write my fantasy books. Life needs to be fun, and those kind of art pieces are needed too. Now, talking about this week, it threw me through the roller coasters of all emotions, and I still haven't seen Inside Out 2 yet. I was supposed to, twice, and both times got postponed due to a family emergency. While I'm still not super ready to talk about the happenings of last week or this week, as I type these words and gazed into what's beyond my screen, my husband reading his book and Banks curled up right beside, this is exactly what paradise looks like. What I can say is that community is everything. The same way that it could be for blood relatives for some, for others could be people along the way called friends. For me this week is our neighbors, our regular coffee shop places that adore us, our vets, our coworkers, our siblings, our strangers on the internet, our ohana, and for that we're extremely thankful forever and ever and ever and ever, ever. Remember to show up as yourself every chance you got. Remember that the big stars that have been around forever also feel nervous and shaky, so let that be a reminder that we are all human. And balance, good and bad, work and play, everything between. You got this. You are worthy and you deserve rest and play and all the freaking wins. So that's a summary of that. And as per usual, I went deep and dark and wise and mentor-like. Taking a break, it's much for me. One more week and then we'll see where our next adventure leads.